watching, Robertson did not have a good warm-up there. Threw a pitch to the backstop on his second last pitch, and what I will say as well is that the Bushmen down the left field line saw that, and they were all over him.
Robertson's on the mound now. Chris Nagorski is down in the Leafs pen warming up. Should there be a 10th inning?
Up and in, and it nearly hit Justin Mara in the head. In the dirt, it goes to the backstop. Here comes Kieran Wong, and he scores! And the Toronto Maple Leafs win the ball game. They walk it off. They come back from down 7-1, and the Leafs have won in 2024. Inside corner, strike 3 called. How about Max Lanoux?
What may expect from a guy that size?
Here's a ground ball right back to the mound. Max Lanoux is going to throw to second for 1, and no throw to first base as Charlie Towers was taken out. Here's the 1-0. This one's popped up. The wind's going to help this stay in play. John Salazzo's under it. Calls off Jose Vinicio and makes the catch. And it's hit in the air. Not deep to center field. Rushing in and going back is Jose Vinicio, who makes the catch. And Max Lanoux gets through 2 1/3 scoreless innings for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
What many may have missed in the Toronto Maple Leafs' thrilling victory against the Kitchener Panthers in comeback fashion on Wednesday night was the middle relief job done by Max Lanoux. Now, he came into the game with his team trailing 5-1, but that didn't change the way he pitched on the mound. He went through 2 1/3 scoreless innings for the Maple Leafs and ultimately gave them a chance to come back in the game. Now, Kitchener and Toronto in this game both needed a victory, looking for their first of 2024. And with the Maple Leafs trailing 7-1 in the 8th inning, they wouldn't go down easy. Cue the comeback.
One game so far. And Salazzo hits it up the middle. That's into center field for a base hit. 1 run's going to come in to score. Jose Vinicio is getting the wave as well. It's a 2 RBI single for John Salazzo on the first pitch he sees. Way up and in and a hit him. Off the back of Greg Carrington. And another run for the Maple Leafs. The 1-2. And he hits one on the ground. This is a slow tapper towards first base. A flip. And he's out at first base. Anderson gets out of it. But not before the Toronto Maple Leafs tack on some runs to make this interesting. They got 4 in the inning, but boy, that is a big fist pump moment.
But it is not easy to keep chucking strikes.
And Castaldo hits it into the outfield. That one's down for a base hit, and that's going to tie the ball game. Jordan Castaldo wins the 11-pitch battle against Anderson, and the Maple Leafs have life in the 9th. It's tied 7-7.
Has the potential here to walk it off. The outfield for Kitchener comes in, so does the infield.
In the dirt, it goes to the backstop. Here comes Kieran Wong, and he scores! And the Toronto Maple Leafs win.
And what a way to introduce yourself to the Toronto Maple Leafs faithful, Kieran Wong. He comes in to pinch run for Jordan Castaldo in the bottom of the 9th inning and ends up scoring the winning run on a wild pitch in walk-off fashion for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So as you may have seen, this is part 2 of episode 7 of Leafs Weekly. We had the Bushmen on last time, and we have more of that conversation coming up as well. This time, we do some early season predictions with the Bushmen. Check it out. So I was at home here, and I'm thinking, what's the best thing I can do? I got 3 Bushmen on Leafs Weekly. What an honor. So I was thinking, why not get some predictions from some of the guys that are drinking up on the hill? So that's what we're going to do right now. We'll start it off with you, Garrett, here, and then we'll swing it around the horn. Predictions on how many home runs John Salazzo is going to have this season.
Woo. Well, he's already got 1, and we know Lazo, he likes to have that low trajectory laser beam, usually out to center field. But we did see in game 1, he put some elevation on that, and he got it over the cage monster. And he had a big year last year. So definitely in the double digits. I'll give Lazo... I'll give him a 14 spot.
Oh,
why not? Why not?
I guess he's been pumping rails in the train yard. I guess just lifting them up and flexing on him. So
yeah, that new yard, Mimico yard. Let's go. Now he's on the day shift.
What do you guys got?
I'm thinking like a 12. Slow start, first one so far. I think he had 11 last year. I'm going to go he's breaking his last year record. Nice 12th home run on the last home game.
I like it. I was actually thinking 11. I thought it was going to be a repeat of last year. But, it's just there's going to be a couple doubles that come way of that classic Lazo laser beam. They should have talked to him before doubling the size of that fence.
Yeah. How many are you thinking there, Elliot?
I'm thinking 11. I'm going with 11.
Okay. I don't know if you've seen Ryan Dos Santos on social media this season, but he has been hitting the gym hard. And I talked to him and he said that he thinks he's got his speed up to where it was playing college baseball. Now, Ryan Dos Santos's career high in stolen bases for a season is 10. I think you guys are probably going to pick a number higher than 10 for stolen bases on Dos Santos. Maybe we'll go to you first on this one, Elliot.
I'm going to go out there and say it's going to be a battle. I won't say who yet because I feel like we're going to make their prediction pretty soon. But I'm going to say the Santos gets 30 bags. El Blanco is going to be unstoppable on the base path.
30 swipes?
I'm talking 30 bags. You wait.
Has he got a stolen base yet this year? Does he have 1 or 2 yet so far?
I think he has 3.
Yeah, he had a steal last game for sure. But I'm saying 30 bags.
I like that. Normally, I want to one up my younger brother, but that's a big number.
Yeah.
I think he's obviously off to a good clip, and I think Butler has been sending the boys. I've seen a lot of aggressiveness on the base pass. There was one by Dos Santos last game where he tried to take 2 maybe a little too aggressively, but I'm gonna go with Ty Domi 28.
28.
Ray, if you say like 9, you're banned from the bush.
You know what? I'm gonna lock it in a solid. I'm gonna lock in a solid 17.
I like it.
I think that's a pretty realistic number. I would, there's gonna be a lot. So the career high, he also had a career high in games played last year as well. He had 30 and he had 10 and 30. But if he's faster this year, I think he can. 17.
What's your number, Thomas? You keep.
What about yourself?
Yeah, what about you, man?
I'm gonna say it's 22.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
So Ray's the only one doubting the speed, eh?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I certainly was surprised when I saw this today because I completely forgot about this. Jordan Castaldo had a career high in walks last season. He had 43. He's one of the guys who leads the IBL in walks almost every single season. Prediction on how many walks Jordan Castaldo is going to pick up this season. We'll start with you this time, Ray.
43. I'm pretty sure he's already got a couple to start the year already, back to his old ways. I'm gonna say he locks in 45.
Another career high.
Career
Yeah,
high.
we don't go low. He's a machine. Obviously the OBP machine of the league, and I think he has been for probably better part of the last decade. He contemplated retirement, so I think he's getting a little bit more patient. Waiting for his spots. I do love that number, so I'm gonna pull an old Price is Right. I'll take 46, Bob.
All right. I'm going to go with 39 only because I have seen him called out looking on strikes, I think 3 times this year, and none of those were strikes. So I'm saying that's taking 3 walks away from him, and I think he's at 39 at the end of the year. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a low walk year too, just because I think that Jordan Castaldo is going to swing the bat a lot this season. So I'm going to say 31.
Okay.
Castaldo.
I like it.
I think he's motivated to hit some home runs the opposite way as well this season.
I think so too.
We got to give the pitchers some love as well. With Hennis Alvarado, he was electric last year, wasn't he? One of the best pitchers in the Intercounty Baseball League, had an ERA of just over 2. We'll go to you first on this one, Ray. Can he match something close to 2 again this season?
I think we're going to see something just around 2, maybe really low 2, but I think we're going to match it. He's starting real hot, and I'm excited. Let's go.
I got to go. I'm with Ray on this one. I think it's low 2s. I'm going to say it's 2.18 range. like a couple over, a couple under. But he's going to be an absolute K machine again, and we're going to win some games when he starts. I'm here for it.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna follow suit with the boys. I'm actually gonna go a 1.9999, Bob. He's gonna break two. He spent the winter in Canada, so he got more acclimated, hanging out with the boys. Alvi, great on him to show out for the Leafs party at the end of the year that we hosted. He took home some hardware.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to bring it this year, man. That guy was a complete stud down the stretch and into the playoffs.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I can't wait to see what he's going to bring for the rest of this season.
Dude, that playoff start that he had, the 9 innings, like 145 pitches, was amazing.
Insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of decimals on your answer too. That must be the stats you're getting on the new IBL app, right?
They use an abacus on that thing, don't they?
Yeah. One more pitcher that's not really a pitcher. You guys have coined him Shohei Ohtani. In fact, he's brought the Ohtani rule to the Intercounty Baseball League as well. I don't know if you guys saw it the other day. He was the DH and the pitcher as well. This is a guy who has an ERA of 0 right now. He had an excellent start last time out. I know he wanted to go more than 55 pitches as well. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will give up a couple runs, but maybe not many. But what's the ERA on Jesse Hodges there, Elliot?
Ooh, I think it's going to be like a workman's 3.5. He's going to throw a lot of pitches. He'll go steep in some games, but he's always going to give you a chance to win.
Yeah.
And then you get to keep that bat in the lineup. So there's added value there. But I think 3.5, a hard-earned 3.5.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'll follow that. As a follow-up too, like why did we yank him? He was dealing. Like I was curious about that move. But I'll never doubt Butler or Greener. Those are my boys. They know what they're doing. Yeah, I think he has a strong showing. When you're swinging the bat and then getting up to pitch, you may see some, getting tired. But Haji, he's all over the field. He makes great plays in the outfield. So I'm gonna say his ERA is going to be half of his outfield assists, which is going to be 7. So my math is correct. I'll go with Elliot at 3.5.
There you go, baby.
Yeah, I think your math is correct there.
All right. So I'm putting a lot of thought into this, and I'm also going to make a crazy hot take that I think will happen this year. So I'm going to say he's going to have like a low 4 ERA, but we are gonna witness him have a pitching and batting game where he legs out a triple for the boys.
But only when he's pitching, not when he's playing.
Only when he's
I can't wait when I'm editing this later to put a numerical value on all of these.
I want to say though too, didn't Hodge have like a sparkling ERA last year? I feel like he was electric on the mound. He had our second best ERA or first.
Yes,
Ahead of Willie.
I think he did. I think it was like high 2s or 3.
Yeah,
but small sample size as well. He'll pitch a lot more innings this year.
Yeah.
Just a correction though, it's Show Hodge Ohtani.
Show Hodge. Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, we used to call him Hodgepodge, and he was like, I hate that nickname. So.
And what a pleasure it was to have the Bushmen on Leafs Weekly. So thanks so much to them for hopping on. That was a lot of fun chatting with them. They also have their own social media platforms. They got Instagram, so you can check them out on there. They also got YouTube where they do their own show, The Bush Banter, and that's a whole lot of fun to watch as well. We got more baseball coming up for the Toronto Maple Leafs. On Saturday night, they take on the Welland Jackfish, the defending Dominico Cup champions, on the road, and then they're right back against the Welland Jackfish on Sunday. That game goes at 2 p.m. at Dominico Field. We'll have the game right here on YouTube for you, or you can come down to the pits as well. Thanks so much for watching Leafs Weekly.
Oh, welcome to Dominico Field. Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit, and today it's the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Welland Jackfish in a game, Zach, that didn't really go the Leafs' way last time out. They lost the game 10-0. There were some interesting performances. We saw Greg Carrington, who got his first appearance on the mound under his belt, a good inning for Adam Mara as well. But ultimately, Zach, this is a redemption game for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, fully. A lot of things didn't go right for them over there in Welland yesterday, but like you said, you're on your own home turf today, in front of your own home fans. Try to get it back, and you got a good guy on the mound going for you.
Yeah, and that is Jesse Hodges for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And what a first outing he had. Now, Jesse Hodges went through 4 innings. He allowed just 1 hit and struck out 4. Although he thought that he had a little bit more left in the tank after we talked to him after that last start. And I think we might see Jesse Hodges go a little bit deeper than just 4 innings today. Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, when you look at Hodges, he started becoming a pitcher last season, only had 11 innings pitched, but it was a pretty good 11 innings in 3 games, started 2 of them, a 2.45 ERA. So far this year, like you mentioned, 4 innings, had those 4 strikeouts, only allowing 1 hit. And I mean, he's just one of those guys on this on this Leafs team that can kind of just make it work.
We're going to pause now for the Canadian National Anthem, and then we'll be right back after this. Getting you set now for the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Welland Jackfish here on another sunny Sunday afternoon here at Dominico Field. As we talked about in the pregame show, Greg Carrington got his first appearance on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs last time out. I had a conversation with him about that and about this being a bit of a redemption game here today for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Joined now by Greg Carrington for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Look, I know it was a bit of a tough one last time out against the Welland Jackfish, but the best thing about baseball is you get to play the next day, and you also get to play against the Welland Jackfish again. Is this a bit of a redemption game for you?
Absolutely. I mean, they're last year's champions, and it's always good to measure up against the top teams in the league. And you know, a game like yesterday, when you come out and you lose 10-0, you get punched in the mouth early, and we don't really show up. It's good to have a game today, a little home and home action, show them what we're all about today.
I know you guys are off to a bit of a slow start, but is this one of those games where if you were to win, it might boost you guys for the whole season?
I mean, every game's like that. Every time we win, I feel like we can just keep going up and up and up and up. So,
Greg, we saw you your first appearance on the mound. I know pitching is a bit of a new thing for you this season. Not bad, right? You get through another scoreless inning. Now you got two scoreless innings under your belt. How did you feel on the mound? And can you take me through the first batter you faced as well?
Felt pretty good out there. I mean, come into a game when it's 10-0, there's really no pressure. It's just about going, throwing strikes. And with my position player background, I'm like, man, let's just go home, throw strikes, get this over with. And it makes it a lot easier for me. I don't have to really focus too hard on executing that much. It's all about pounding the zone. And faced Mullen first, and that's one guy I've faced twice in my 2 innings in the league. I don't know how it's possible and what the odds are. He's on a new team now, and I still face him, but I've gotten him out twice. So hopefully that trend continues, facing the best batters in the league, continuing on the rest of the year.
Greg, best of luck, and good luck in the game today as well.
Thank you.
Well, not an easy assignment there for Greg Carrington. Has had 2 innings of relief in his Intercounty Baseball League career. He's faced Robert Mullen twice, and he's got them both. Jesse Hodges is looking to get a couple of these Welland Jackfish batters, starting off with Tyler Dupuis, who's going to lead things off today for Welland. Jesse Hodges is coming off a good start in his last time out, went 4 innings, and he just needed 55 pitches to get through that outing. His first pitch is well outside.
Yeah, and this Welland Jackfish lineup, you look at them and what they've been able to do so far this year. You have 5 guys roughly hitting that over 350 mark on the season with the batting average. I mean, it's just been electrifying production out of this team so far to start the year. We saw it last night firsthand, especially with the 10-0 loss.
The 1-1 from Jesse Hodges. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Tyler Dupuis just fouled a pitch off that was way in the air down the right field line, but it was well fouled. Now Hodges ahead in the count 1-2. Pitch is low and in the dirt, 2-2. Tyler Dupuis played with Ottawa in the Frontier League last season, or at least was going to, and then unfortunately broke his thumb, so he came to the Welland Jackfish, and now he's back with Welland for another season in the Intercounty Baseball League. 2-2 pitch, and he fouls it off once again, and this is a classic Tyler Dupuis at bat. He's got really good bat-to-ball skills, so foul a ton of pitches off.
Yeah, you look what he's done this season, 8 for 18 so far, 444 out of that leadoff spot, 1 homer and the 5 RBIs. He has just been electrifying in that leadoff spot for Welland.
Ground ball, this one's to third base. John Salazzo plays it on a hop, throws to first in time to get the out, just in time to get the speedy Tyler Dupuis.
Hustling down that line there was Dupuis. See Salazzo take that on the hop and then on the run throw. Just solid production from that third base side for Salazzo, and it's been for so long for the Maple Leafs. Has such sound defense.
5-pitch at bat for Tyler Dupuis. Jesse Hodges didn't see many of those in his last outing, was extremely efficient. Here's Steven Moretto for the Jackfish as he takes a strike.
Same thing, Moretto, another guy just batting around 350 to 348 on the season, 7 RBIs, and he gets on base.
And this one's hit on the ground foul. The count's 0-2. Stephen Moretto out of New Westminster, BC, finished off his Division I career in the NCAA with the Sacramento State Hornets back in 22. Played there for 4 seasons between 2018 and 2022. Here's the 0-2 in the dirt. Hodges misses with the breaking ball. Jesse Hodges used that breaking ball a lot in his last outing. He said didn't really have a good feel for his changeup early on. He found it a little bit later in his start. That was the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt once again. That's the breaking ball from Jesse Hodges.
And it kind of looks like he's trying to establish the outside of the zone so far early on in this game with how that breaking ball's going, just kind of slipping out of his hand a little bit too much.
2-2. Ground ball to short. Gobbled up by Jose Vinicio. He flips the throw to first, right on the money. 2 away.
And it's always funny, when you see Jose Vinicio play shortstop, it looks like his throws over to first are always so lackadaisical and slow, but he just has such quick hands at short to get that ball over to first so fast.
Yeah, he's got a good internal clock as well. He knows who's running down the first baseline. He knows how much time he has. He does have a good arm from shortstop. He can gun it over there when needed to. This is Brandon Hupe at the plate for the Jackfish. Hupe is one of the younger guys on this Jackfish team, 24 years old.
He's had a great start to his season as well, 7 for 18 early on.
Behind in the count 0-2. Yeah, his season started out with the Trois Rivières in the Frontier League. Played 4 games with them, and he was playing with his former teammate James Smybert, who was on the Welland Jackfish last season, one of the catchers, as he fouls one off down the right field line. James Smybert has been replaced by Robert Mullen this season, which is certainly not a downgrade. James Smybert obviously was an excellent player in the Intercounty Baseball League, but Mullen's an MVP caliber player for the Jackfish.
It just seems, Welland, they lose some of that talent, but they do such a good job at replenishing it and keeping this team at a high level competitive-wise.
Hodges trying to get through a 1-2-3 first inning, and he delivers low, a breaking ball to Hupe that missed outside.
Liking the pitch mix by Hodges so far, just on the mound, commanding the zone all quadrants.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. A 1-2-3 first inning as he sets down the top of the Welland Jackfish lineup. And the bats of the Toronto Maple Leafs are coming up at Dominico Field.
How did things start for you?
It was a good start for me. Just 4 innings, ease into it. I mean, I wanted to go more, but the coaching staff and some of the guys said, hey, take it easy. We want you to pitch more this year instead of running out 80, 100 pitches right off the bat and then you're sore. So I felt good out there.
This season, you're starting out the year pitching. Last year, you kind of started in midway through. Was there anything different in the off-season you did to prepare to be on the mound?
I threw a lot of BP while I was coaching. No, I threw more consistent bullpens and tried to take care of my arm a little bit more, knowing that I was going to be pitching a little bit more this year. But no, just throwing my pens, throwing BP, keeping the arm loose.
I know it's been a bit of a slow start for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know it's also a very long season. What's kind of the mindset, or how do you look at this start?
I mean, we're competing, so you can take that right off the board right there. Like, we're going out and we're giving everything we got every time we get on the field. Things will click, right? A lot of people in baseball, it's a long season, it's a grind, it's a sport of failure. You can't click the panic button yet. So we'll just keep competing. Couple bounces, couple pitches, couple balls fall our way, and we're off to the races.
Jose Vinicio leading things off here in the bottom of the first inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he will be opposed by Francisco Jimenez, who is a dangerous right-handed pitcher on this Welland Jackfish team. He did give up a couple runs in 3 innings of work his first time out. That came in a loss against the London Majors. In fact, he also did get touched up for a home run by Caden Cordoso, but who isn't getting touched up for a home run by Caden Cordoso? But with that being said, Francisco Jimenez looks like a dangerous pitcher, made it as high as AAA baseball, and he's got about as long a list on his baseball reference page as you're going to find in the Intercounty Baseball League.
Yeah, I was going to mention that we were looking at it pre-game and saying, wow, he's been around. He has that experience, one of those players that has just been in many leagues, a lot of high-level, high-competitive baseball in his career, and it should be a very good test for this Toronto Maple Leafs team.
So he has 3 innings of Intercounty Baseball League under his belt. Most notably played in the Baltimore Orioles farm system, where he made it up as high as AAA baseball. This one's hit on the ground, tough hop at first base, and the play is made. Jose Vinicio retired for out number 1. That's Trent Sillett over there, excuse me.
First baseman, number 5, Jordan Pascal.
Barrett over there at first base. So Jordan Castaldo steps to the plate. Maple Leafs obviously very happy to be facing a right-handed batter, or a right-handed pitcher rather than a left-handed pitcher, as their lineup is stacked with lefties, as it always is. Here's the 0-1. Pitch is outside.
Yeah, you talk about how stacked up with lefties this lineup is. A lot of the hitters in this lineup, though, off to a bit of a slow start this season. You saw Vinicio right there, ground out to first. Castaldo, another guy, just not finding a lot of production at the plate as of yet.
This may or may not mean anything, but Jordan Castaldo had an excellent batting practice today. There's not a lot of players that are hitting it over that tall wall out there in right field now in batting practice, but Jordan Castaldo hammered a couple balls over the wall. Behind to the count 1 and 2 here to Jimenez. Castaldo hits one on the ground to first base. That one eats up Barrett and gets into the outfield. What will likely go as a base hit for Jordan Castaldo, and the Maple Leafs have one on.
Saw Barrett, he fielded the Vinicio ground ball a little awkwardly as well, and again, Dominico Field known for some of these crazy bounces on the infield, and right there working for the way of the Leafs. The last game against Welland, they played, I was talking with Ryan DeSantos about it. This kind of said, not a lot of things went their way. A lot of hard hit balls right at defenders, and now back on your own home diamond, some of the bounces going your way.
This is a guy the Toronto Maple Leafs want to get going. Marcus Connect, still looking for his first hit of the season. As he takes a pitch on the inside corner for a strike and talks to the home plate umpire, just asking, is that as far in as it goes? To which looks like he got a nod from the home plate umpire. So it's an 0-1 count. And that one does miss just inside. Do you think that's helpful at all to when you turn around and ask the umpire, is that as far inside as it goes, or does that just piss him off?
It depends on the mood of the umpire that day.
'Cause that pitch looked pretty similar, and that was maybe just a tiny bit further inside, so maybe it helped him out a little bit. There's a pitch over the outside corner that misses. Count is 2-1.
You talked about the Leafs batting practice, and you said Castaldo was hitting some big ones. It kind of seemed like they were all just getting a little bit of frustration out from that last loss against Welland. A lot of the players taking big swings, a lot of balls sailing over that metal monster there in right field.
Yeah, that's what the Bushmen have coined it, the cage monster.
Ooh.
Out there in right field. It's tall. I mean, if you pull the ball a lot, you can definitely get it over. But when you look out in center field,
And see the difference.
yeah, it's about 340 feet away and a 20-foot fence. Another breaking ball that just misses inside from Jimenez, but it looked like the catcher Mullen was set up outside, so I think he just missed his spot. So now the count's full, 3-2 on Marcus Connect. And that one misses outside, ball 4, and that one just missed. The Maple Leafs have 2 on here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, you see Jimenez on the mound. He just didn't agree with that. Thought he caught the corner, and it kind of seems like he's hitting his spots right now. Maybe it's just a little bit off the black, but for the most part, he is hitting these corners with efficiency. This is new for me. I think this last time I was here, Salazzo had a different walk-up song.
Yeah.
Now rocking $1 Million Baby. Okay, John.
First pitch. John Salazzo takes a strike at the top of the zone. 2 ducks on the pond here for the guy that led the Toronto Maple Leafs in RBIs last season with 48. Here's the 0-1. There's a breaking ball that misses inside.
Salazzo, he's had a good start to the season. .333 batting average so far. 1 home run, the 4 RBIs.
Here's the 1-1. John Salazzo gets under it and pops it to the right side. That one's going to hook out of play. Francisco Jimenez played this season in the Nicaraguan Winter League, which we see a lot of players on the Kitchener Panthers. That's where they came out of. And I believe he actually did play on the same team as Raul Gonzalez as well. 1-2 in the dirt. That one's going to get all the way to the Maple Leafs dugout, and that's going to allow both Jordan Castaldo and Marcus Connect to move up an extra 90 feet. And now there's 2 in scoring position for Salazzo.
Big chance here for the Leafs to just kind of get on the scoreboard early. Obviously, Welland, they did it in the first inning of the last game between these 2. 4 runs in that first. Now can Toronto answer back on their own home turf?
Here's a big 2-2 pitch. And Salazzo swings and fouls it off, and his bat goes helicoptering down the first baseline. It gets all the way past Barrett there at first base.
Now, do you think the bat landed in fair territory and then kind of rolled over, or was that foul the whole way?
No, I think that was like right on the first base bag.
Gotta get the pine tar on the bat there. Mr.
Grayson.
Salazzo.
Yeah, Grayson Barrett has already had to make 2 plays on baseballs at first base. This time he gets the bat. Salazzo does like to pull the ball, so Barrett might have to be heads up here on this 2-2 pitch. And Salazzo takes outside, and now a full count.
These have been some fantastic approaches at the plate early on here by this Maple Leaf squad.
And that one's ball 4. So the bases are loaded for the Maple Leafs in the first inning. Now we saw this a little bit with Jimenez in his first outing of work. That was when he came in the 7th inning against the London Majors. Walked a batter, gave up the home run, but then really settled in after this. Dan Mara's coming to the plate for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and if Jimenez can get a ground ball here, that would go a long way to boosting this first Inter-County Baseball League start for Francisco Jimenez. This one's hammered on the ground, foul into the Welland Jackfish bullpen down the right field line. Jimenez heading the count, 0-1. Justin Mara is 4 for 17 to start off his season. Mara, the catcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Mara hits one in the air. This one's to center field. It might be deep enough to score Castaldo. And he's coming home. The throw to the plate is way offline. Jordan Castaldo will score, and the Maple Leafs have a 1-0 lead.
And how about that? Scoring early, give your starting pitcher the lead to work with. Just good job right there by Mara. You got it deep enough, and Castaldo able to score with ease.
Well, he scored with ease because the throw was offline. If that throw was online, there would have certainly been a play at the plate there. Hupe's throw in center field was just a bit offline. The outfield for the Welland Jackfish is Mateo Porcelata, Brendan Hupe, and Caleb Fiersteak in the outfield. Jesse Hodges, the pitcher, is at the plate. Hodges right now is acting as the DH, and when he's on the mound, he's the pitcher. So when Jesse Hodges does exit this game on the mound, he will still be in that DH spot. And Hodges hits one in the air. This one's not particularly deep. It's Mateo Porcelato coming over, and he gives way to the center fielder, Brandon Hupe. The Maple Leafs get the bases loaded. They cash one in on a Justin Mara sacrifice fly and lead 1-0 over the Welland Jackfish. It's Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube.
Jesse Hodges last year went to Jeff Lounsbury and the coaching staff and said, "Hey guys, I can pitch." From the perspective of someone who is a pitcher to a guy like Jesse Hodges who hadn't pitched, he told me he hadn't pitched since he was like 13, 14 years old or something like that.
Other than Hamilton, the last time I started a game was actually in like 2012 when I was in high school. But I knew I could do this, so that's why I kept telling people, like, I can pitch, I can do it.
How impressed were you, or were you surprised at how well he was able to do on the mound last year as his kind of first crack at pitching in a while?
No, honestly, I wasn't that surprised because Jesse, at the end of the day, he's a gamer. He's a baseball player. You ask him to do anything on the field, and he's going to give it 150% and not leave anything else out there. And he's a talented guy. I mean, he's a professional baseball player. He's seen people do it for a lot of years, and he's a pro level defensive player. And when you're throwing across a diamond at third base, like you've got to be still pinpoint with your control like that. And once he was just on the mound.
Back here at Dominico Field, a sacrifice fly by Justin Mara has given the Maple Leafs a 1-0 lead, although they were probably looking for more there against Jimenez. They had bases loaded and just one out. Jordan Castaldo came in to score. Jesse Hodges back out on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's facing Robert Mullen in that cleanup spot for the Jackfish.
Yeah, obviously, like you were saying, I'm sure they wanted more out of that inning, but still probably happy with the outcome. Just getting at least something on the board for your starting pitcher, Jesse Hodges, and it'd be a big inning here for Hodges to come out and have another shutdown inning and let the Leafs get back on the sticks while they're hot.
That pitch is over the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Jesse Hodges gets Robert Mullen looking for out number 1.
It's a beautiful location by Hodges. It looked like on the inner half, right at the knees, and he was just not prepared for it whatsoever. Mullen sat down.
This is Mateo Porcelato, who's off to a blazing hot start this season. A .412 batting average in the 5 games he's played. He's had 17 at-bats. There's the first pitch from Hodges, and that one's up and away. Mateo Porcelato was 2 for 3 in yesterday's game, and one of those 2 hits was a triple against the Maple Leafs. Welland Jackfish beat the Maple Leafs 10-0 in a game where the Leafs were only able to muster 4 hits. It was an unbelievable outing by Ben Abram, who went all 9 innings.
Yeah, I'm sure the bullpen was thankful for that, getting a good rest day.
2-0, this one's hit well to center field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. The Welland Jackfish have 1 on with 1 out here in the top of the 2nd inning.
Porcelato continues his hot stretch. He said batting .412 coming into this one, and just adding another hit to that total. He has just been on fire for this Welland Jackfish team.
Yeah, for Porcelato, not a lot of those hits have been singles either. He has 7 hits, now 8 hits on this season. 3 of them have been doubles. 1 of them's been a triple. That's just his 2nd base hit of the year. He's got pretty good speed over there at first base. Has already swiped a couple bags in the early goings here in the IBL season. Jesse Hodges falls behind Feuerstake 1-0. And now 2-0 is the count. Caleb Feuerstake is the right fielder for the Welland Jackfish today. Here's the 2-0. There goes Mateo Porcelato. Throw from the knees of Justin Mara is not in time. That's the 3rd stolen base of the season for Mateo Porcelato, and he gets himself in scoring position for Caleb Feuerstake.
Just good wheels on first right there by Porcelato, and stay out of that double play now on the ground ball. Tying run moves into scoring position.
Caleb Feuerstake has appeared in 3 games this season, and one of them was as a pitcher. He came in and pitched an inning, gave up just 1 hit against the Hamilton Cardinals. But Feuerstake playing right field today. That pitch was a strike, so the count's now 2-1. Feuerstake squaring to bunt. Justin Mara looks back Porcelato at second base, who is dancing off the bag.
Yeah, it looked like Porcelato was taking a couple extra steps. Thought it might have just been, a different type of hit and run. A bunt and run, I guess.
Feuerstake had a great season for the Jackfish last year. Hit .385 in 18 games. The 3-1 up and away, ball 4. Jesse Hodges loses Feuerstake. And the Jackfish have 2 on with 1 out. This is going to be a different test here for Jesse Hodges. Last time out playing against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, and they don't have the same caliber players that the Welland Jackfish do. In fact, most of the players on Chatham-Kent probably resume-wise wouldn't make this Jackfish team. So this is a next level here for Jesse Hodges to try and get out some of these tough Jackfish hitters.
Yeah, it definitely is another big test here for Hodges, but you have the right guy at the plate for this situation. Cole Cote, only batting .133. He's off to a little bit of a rocky start. And you look at up and down this Jackfish lineup, a lot of the hitters red hot. Cole just hasn't been able to get it going so far.
Cote hits this one to the air pretty well. Down the line, and it's high off the wall in fair territory. This is going to cash in 1 run. And Costello will cut off the throw at first base. Cote into second base. He's tied the ball game with an RBI double.
That might be the Castor Kibosh right there. I'll take that one, Mr. Hodges.
Cole Cote out of Bluefield State, playing for the Big Blues in the NCAA last season. Division II baseball. He's got himself probably his biggest hit of the IBL season thus far. Big RBI double, and that was inches away from being an opposite field home run as well.
Yeah, these renovations here at Dominico Field helping Hodges right there. He said it was high off the wall, like maybe a half a foot more, and that was a 3-run shot.
Yeah, that goes to show you some of the power that Cole Cote possesses. He also catches for the Welland Jackfish. This one's hit in the air on the infield. It's actually shallow in the outfield. Greg Carrington's going to run in and make the catch for the second out. And Carrington ran in almost all the way to the infield dirt to make that catch. Jose Vinicio was played in on the infield as the Maple Leafs are trying to shut down the Jackfish right here.
Yeah, big break right there. The shallow fly ball runner at third can't tag up, so This game still remains tied, and Hodges only needs that one more out to get out of here.
So Grayson Barrett is at the plate, and he takes in the dirt, blocked by Justin Mara. He doesn't know where the ball is, and now he finds it. Luckily for the Maple Leafs, the runner at third base retreated as soon as he saw that ball. Didn't get far away from Justin Mara, but he started running back immediately. He wasn't sure where that landed.
Yeah, and Mara, just such an elite catcher behind the dish, just such a good job blocking and calling games. For some of the young pitchers on this staff, having a guy like Mara behind the dish to kind of help you get acclimated into the IBL and just kind of find your own game, it's very helpful.
Grayson Barrett, the former Edmonton prospect and Moose Jaw Miller Express in the WCBL. He hits this one on the ground. Jose Vinicio charging it, barehands it, throws to first in time to get the out. What a play by Jose Vinicio, as that took a wicked hop on the grass, and he saves a run and maybe even two for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the second inning. It's the Maple Leafs won, the Welland Jackfish won. We'll be right back here from Dominico Field. First pitch to Dan Mara is outside ball one. Jimenez back on the mound for the Welland Jackfish. You may have just seen John Salazzo, Dionysius Shaltis, and Jamie Cabral running out there to center field. Not sure what that's all about, but hopefully everything's okay.
Just running, you know, might have to use the bathroom. It's all good.
It's possible. This one's hit pretty well here by Dan Mara, but it's going to hang up in the outfield. Catch made by Caleb Feuerstake, one away. That's going to bring Ryan Dos Santos to the plate with one away. Both the Maple Leafs and Welland Jackfish have had runners on base and a chance to get maybe more than what they ended up getting. The Maple Leafs had bases loaded with one out in the first inning. And then the Welland Jackfish had second and third with just one out, and Jesse Hodges was able to work around it while just giving up a run. But the big hit was by Cole Cote as he hammered a ball off the wall out there in right field. Inches away from being a home run, which would have been a 3-run shot. Dos Santos fouls it straight back. He had a great cut at that one.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat pretty well. He told me during BP today he was another one of those guys getting the frustration on the ball. He said he hit 7 over the cage monster in BP.
Did he?
That's what he told me.
Here's the 1-1. And that was before he had his pregame Red Bull too.
Yeah.
I think trying to hit home runs is probably going to be detrimental though to Ryan Dos Santos. He's a great contact hitter. And and swings and misses. The count's now at 2-2. That's what I said to Ryan before the season. I said, you're going to hit a big home run on the first game of the year, and it's going to ruin your entire season because you've been chasing power the whole season. Ryan Dos Santos is a guy that can easily hit 300 in the Intercounty Baseball League. He did it last year. That pitch is in the dirt. And the reason why the reason why it's important for Ryan Dos Santos to get on base is that he is speedy. And he'll swipe some bags this season. And a full count now. And he hits one down the line, just foul by about a foot down the right field line, or that was headed into the corner.
Yeah, and like you said, with his speed, that's probably an easy stand-up double. And that's what he did out in Welland. He had a couple hard-hit balls, but as he was described it to me, it was just every time it was just right to a defender. He said he had an outside changeup. He got every piece of it, and it was just right to the second baseman.
Another 3-2 pitch from Jimenez, and it's upstairs, ball 4. So Ryan Dos Santos will head down to first base, and he is a big steal threat for the Maple Leafs.
His 5th walk of the year, and you mentioned the stolen bases sitting at 3 already.
On the mound to finish out the ball game for the Maple Leafs. Now back at the plate and playing right field. First pitch was in the dirt for Jimenez, so the count's now 1-0 to Greg Carrington. There goes Ryan Dos Santos, and he picked a good pitch to do it on. Robert Mullen can't handle the low breaking ball from Jimenez, so Ryan Dos Santos has a stolen base.
Yeah, his 4th of the season, and Maple Leafs, that is their 14th as a team.
That one misses high. The count's now 3-0. Greg Carrington is the number 9 hitter today for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I think that speaks to the strength of the Maple Leafs lineup this season. You have Greg Carrington hitting 9th. That's a pretty strong Intercounty Baseball League lineup you put together. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And it's low, ball 4. Robert Mullen behind the plate wanted the call. Carrington will head down to first base.
And just looking at the pitch count right now for Jimenez, I mean, the Maple Leafs are doing a fantastic job working these counts. 17 strikes thrown, 19 balls now. I mean, they're doing a good job just waiting on their pitches, not doing too much at the plate.
Jose Vinicio off to a bit of a slow start at the plate, hitting just 160 to start the season, but once again a guy they expect to pick up the pace a little bit as the season goes on, as he hit 330 last year with Toronto. And he bunts this one down the third baseline, and it hung up in the air a little bit, but it bounces into foul territory. Out of the reach of Steven Moretto, who's at third base.
It's one of those bats you got to get going here. We saw him hit the home run a couple games ago, 0 for 4 in Welland. One of those guys you need his bat in the lineup. He's very important to have, especially in that leadoff spot.
Vinicio foul tips one off the glove of Robert Mullen. Speaking of Steven Moretto, hit a big 2-run home run against the Maple Leafs last time out. Or yesterday, I guess I should say. There's the old saying in baseball, right, where, the blessing is that you get to play baseball the next day whenever you come off a tough loss. So that's not always the case in the Intercounty Baseball League, but the Maple Leafs are presented with that opportunity against the Jackfish today. Vinicio, behind to the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch from Jimenez. Inside. Jose Vinicio jumped out of the way. Jordan Castaldo is the on-deck batter for the Maple Leafs. Castaldo was 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. 1-2. Benicio pops it up on the infield. This one's going to stay in play for Steven Moretto, who catches it in foul territory. Both runners retreat back to their respective bases, and Jordan Castaldo comes to the plate.
Tough break there for Benicio. Looks like he was chasing that high fastball. 2 outs now for the Maple Leafs, but still very dangerous batter in Castaldo. We know, we've seen him over his lengthy career here in the IBL. He's one of those guys that can work a walk, pass the baton, but he can also do damage with the bat. We've seen him multiple times over the years here for the Maple Leafs do that.
Jordan Castaldo had a massive RBI double to tie the game 7-7 for the Maple Leafs against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. That was on Wednesday, and that was the first win of the season for the Maple Leafs. Castaldo hits one in the air. This one's pretty deep towards left field. It's at the wall, and the catch is made about 3 feet in front of the wall out there and left by Matteo Porcelato, and the Maple Leafs are retired in the bottom of the second inning. To the top of the third we go here at Dominico Field. Jesse Hodges back on the mound for the Maple Leafs, facing the leadoff hitter Tyler Dupuis. It's 1-1 between the Maple Leafs and the Welland Jackfish. Dupuis slashes one foul down the right field line. Jordan Castaldo just missed a home run in his last at-bat.
I think the impressive part really when you look at Castaldo's swing is how much power he has going to the opposite field. I mean, that ball carried and carried, again, like you said, just missing it.
Tyler Dupuis hammers this one into the gap. Coming over and making a running catch is Ryan Dos Santos. And there's one away.
Third baseman number 15, Steven Moretto.
Maple Leafs are going with Ryan Dos Santos out there in right field. Marcus Connect in center. Greg Carrington in left. Salazzo is at third base. Jose Benicio, Dan Mara, and Jordan Castaldo on the infield for Toronto. Hodges delivers strike one, a swing and a miss by Steven Moretto. had the home run to left field against the Maple Leafs yesterday. Hodges just misses with a changeup on the outside corner. The Welland Jackfish today, you gotta be ready to hit. Jesse Hodges is a strike thrower on the mound for the Maple Leafs.
Strike thrower when he works really quickly,
Yeah.
too. You can see how fast he gets ready on the mound. He's ready to deliver the pitch almost instantaneously.
Here's the 2-1. Well, there are some new pace of play rules in the IBL this year. Obviously, none of those have anything to do with a pitch clock or anything like that, but they're limiting the amount of times that the batter can step out of the batter's box, which I'm not even really sure if that's in play right now, because I've seen a lot of stepping in and out of the batter's box.
I believe it's in play when there's not a foul off, if it's just a pitch like that. So
Right.
That's something to monitor, but because for the most part, every time a player seems to foul
Yeah.
off a pitch, you see them step out, take a swing, adjust the batting gloves.
It hasn't had as much of an impact as I initially thought it was going to. Obviously, the throws to first base, that makes a difference, as this one's fouled off down the right field line. Is as if the runners on base in the Intercounty Baseball League needed any help. Stolen base numbers can get pretty high in the IBL.
We saw with Vinicio last year, 26.
And that one slips out of the hand of Jesse Hodges, goes over the head of Steven Moretto to the backstop, so the count's full, 3-2, and now Hodges is going to have to regroup after missing with that pitch.
Yeah, you see the little frustration out of Hodges there, not liking the way he released that, obviously just slipping out too high.
Full count. Hammered down the line, foul down the third base side. Steven Moretto stays alive.
Hodges has just done a good job here on the inner half. It seems like he's just fighting on the mound there. Moretto's fouling off some tough pitches. Looked like that one was on the inside half.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. How about Jesse Hodges? What a battle there with Steven Moretto.
Fantastic job. Again, this is why Hodges is just such a good pitcher for this Maple Leaf squad. I talked about his numbers last year. Obviously, in the playoffs last year, didn't have the numbers he wanted. And starting off so far this year, he's been pretty solid for this Maple Leaf squad.
Now Brandon Hupe swings and misses at a breaking ball. Jesse Hodges now has 3 strikeouts in his first 2 2/3 innings. The pitch to Hupe. That misses low.
Looked like another off speed on the outer half. He's trying to get that pitch out there, get some of the calls, but it just looks like he's releasing it a little bit late and it's getting too much break.
This one's hit in the air pretty well to left field, but it's going to hang up. Greg Carrington comes over and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Jesse Hodges as he sets down the Welland Jackfish. Once again, 1-2-3 in the order. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning and the bats for the Maple Leafs coming up. Last year, working with some of the pitchers, we talked last year about your work with the Toronto Blue Jays and how that's helped you. Well, this year you're officially the pitching coach
of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know you being a starter last year, you had some off days, and you go out and do your pitching coaching duties, but this year it's official. Can you kind of just tell us
Welcome back here for the bottom half of the third inning. Marcus Connect will lead things off here for the Maple Leafs. Looking at a first pitch ball, and Connect still looking for that first hit this season for the Maple Leafs. Been a little bit of a slow start for him. High there for ball 2.
Yeah, he's played some good outfield for the team. The bat hasn't come around yet. You know, that first one's going to feel good for him. We've seen the damage he can do in years past. He was one of the more prolific hitters in the Leafs lineup 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Takes a big cut of that fastball, and it's just a tick behind it. And yeah, you mentioned he's been a big bat for the Leafs in years past. Obviously, the Leafs re-signed him this year to try to bring back some of that power, make that lineup a little bit deeper. And this is a good squad, 1 through 9. As Connect looks at that one high and outside for ball 3.
Yeah, when people are hitting, it's contagious, and when people aren't hitting, it's contagious. And right now, not many people on this team are hitting. And when 1 or 2 break out, I'd imagine the rest probably will follow suit fairly quickly after.
And that one, it looked like it was high outside, but it catches the corner for strike 2. So we're going to full count here. Jimenez so far has been a little bit wild, hasn't been able to control it. Talked about the pitch count last half inning. Connect slices this into center field and making the catch right at the shoelace there for out number 1. Marcus Connect inches away from his first hit this season.
And that's kind of how it's gone for him and the Leafs. It's close but no cigar. You know, we've seen these guys put good swings on the ball. We've talked endlessly about Jordan Castaldo and the start he's gotten off to, and he's been better of late. Good cuts, good swings. The balls just aren't hitting the grass. And that has a lot to do with the pitching that they've faced, but they'll drop soon. Connect especially. He's too good to have this go on for much longer.
Yeah, and a lot of these hitters in this lineup, you know, they're too good to have this kind of drought happen. You see guys, like you mentioned, Marcus Connect, Justin Morrow only batting .235, Jose Vinicio down at 160. We saw Dan Morrow last year batting in that high 200, hit around 300 range, as Salazzo swings at that one. Count going to here to 1-1.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with the lack of power that they've shown. They have 2 home runs on the year. Vinicio hit a leadoff home run against Kitchener.
Salazzo fouls that one right on back to the booth. Heads up to our cameraman.
And Jonathan Salazzo had hit the first home run of the year. You expect that out of Salazzo. Both were over the newly renovated right field, but there's not been a lot of power at all throughout this lineup.
The power numbers are, like you said, significantly down. The RBI is 19 for the team so far, and Salazzo, he'll make his way on to first base.
Yeah, fastball drilled him right in the elbow guard. That's why you wear that.
And just talking about him, Justin Morrow, another one of those guys you want to get going. We've seen how powerful his bat can be in this lineup and the damage that he's able to do. The long career that he's had starting in 2016 with the Maple Leafs. Big cut there, past the diving first baseman for a base hit. Salazzo will run up to second, and he'll stop there. So it's a 1-out single for the Leafs backstop.
And the Leafs have gotten base runners on this game. They've had at least 2 guys on in every single inning up to this point. They're making Jimenez work. That's what you like to see. Now, at a certain point, you really got to start putting those runs away. It's a Welland team that is too good to let hang around. You put up a crooked number here early on, and it is still early. Welland's gone through a number of pitchers recently, And Ben Abrams' complete game against Toronto yesterday put them in a very good spot for today's action. Welland's third game in 3 days. Not something you see a whole lot of in the IBL.
And up the middle, shortstop grabs it, steps on second for one, throw over to first in time for the inning-ending double play there by Jesse Hodges. So we'll head to the fourth, tied 1-1 here at Dominica Field.
Well, something going on right now between Jesse Hodges and the home plate umpire. I was having an argument with him while he was warming up. First pitch is in there for a strike. And then, I don't know if you just saw it, but it looked like he intentionally threw one halfway up the backstop for his final warm-up pitch. But he's back in the zone and facing Mullen as he delivers high. Counts now 1-1.
Yeah, obviously we don't have access to know what was said or what was going on down on the field level.
Yeah. Pitch from Hodges is outside 2-1. I don't think it was a particularly heated conversation. Might just be one over the strike zone. Here's the 2-1. This one's flared towards shortstop. Benicio's under it. He makes the catch. Yeah, see, I thought I had my breath back after sprinting from center field.
Don't. Still trying to catch up.
I don't think I've ever run the hill that hard at Dominico Field.
It was pretty impressive. I peeked over and I saw you hustling. I saw the hair flowing in the wind.
If Jesse Hodges had gone yard instead of hitting into that double play, you would have been the full-time play-by-play guy of the Maple Leafs.
Really?
How could I come back?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
There's a swing and a miss. Counts now 0-2 on Mateo Porcelato.
Well, see, you could have came back, but you wouldn't have had to sprint.
Yeah, I know.
You might have had your breath.
Hodges delivers high 1-2. Some action down in the bullpen, and is that a Dustin Richardson sighting?
I believe it is.
Richardson hasn't pitched yet this season, but he's been with the team since the start of the year. Richardson threw some live at-bats before Wednesday's game, and I think he felt pretty good, so maybe scheduled to come into this game. Here's a ground ball. Dan Mara scoops it up. It went off his glove, but he recovers nicely. Throws to first in time to get the out. Porcelato's retired 2 away. And now that's 6 in a row retired by Jesse Hodges.
Yeah, Hodges on the mound so far today, really outside of that second inning, he's looked pretty solid. Working around this very difficult Welland lineup.
Caleb Feuersteak comes to the plate for the Welland Jackfish. Feuersteak, the watered-down Ontario native. This will just be his 6th at-bat of the year now. Hodges delivers inside. Counts now 2-0 on Caleb Feuersteak. That one misses, 3-0. If you recognize the name Jesse Hodges and haven't watched the IBL too much in the last couple of years, you might be thinking, geez, I don't remember that guy being a pitcher. And you're right in that assumption. Jesse Hodges, he was in the Chicago Cubs organization for a while and played as a third baseman. As there's a swing and a miss. 3-0 swinging was Caleb Feuersteak, now it's 3-1. But last season he saw that the Maple Leafs needed a little bit of help on the mound, and Jeff Lounsbury said that he knew Jesse Hodges was willing to do that when he came in. As there's a strike, Hodges is back in it, now 3-2. And he started pitching last season at an ERA in the 2s. It went excellent, and now he's back on the mound to start the year for the Maple Leafs in 2024. Caleb Feuersteak's going to head down to first base. That one's outside ball 4. Jesse Hodges battled back there from down 3-0 in the count, delivered 2 strikes, and then walks Feuersteak.
Yeah, and I'm not going to repeat what I believe Hodges said on the mound after releasing that pitch, but he was venting his frustration. Clearly he didn't agree with how he released that.
What did he say?
I'm not going to say that one. You're not going to set me up for that one. Good try, though. Good try.
Cole Cote is the batter. Feuersteak is running. Throw down high and into center field. An extra base is going to be taken by Caleb Feuersteak as Jose Vinicio picks it up. There's a runner on third base, which probably won't have a massive consequence in the outcome. There are 2 outs, and it would take a base hit to score Cote from either second base or third base, as he's got great speed.
But for Welland, they have the right guy at the plate. It's Cole Cote, I think he said.
Yeah, Caleb Feuersteak, I should say, on base. Cote fouls that one off. The count's now 1-1.
Not sure if you saw what I was doing there, trying to reverse the caster kibosh I had on him last
Right.
time.
Yeah. Came into the game hitting just 133, but has the RBI in the game for the Jackfish. A check swing. They're going to check down to first base. No swing, says the first base umpire. So Cote is ahead in the count, 2-1. Ethan Hunt is on deck, and then Grayson Barrett, the first baseman. The 2-1 pitch. That one's hit on the ground. Jose Vinicio has a kick off his glove, and he has no play at first base. The Welland Jackfish score, and it's now 2-1 Welland here in the top of the 4th inning.
That's just an unfortunate break by Vinicio. We talked about him in the first of just how sound of a defender he is, and that one just kind of hit the lip of the grass, came up onto his glove, and he just couldn't settle it down.
He made an excellent play on a tough hop to get the Maple Leafs out of the second inning, which would have saved a run. This time can't come up with the magic once again. It'll probably go as a base hit for Cole Cote. Hard hit ball to Vinicio, and a pickoff play to first base by Jesse Hodges, and Cote was leaning the wrong way.
It looked like Cote wanted to take off for that. Again, another big lead.
Line drive on a hop up the middle to Vinicio. He backhand flips to second, and that one gets away from Dan Mara.
Tough go of things here for Vinicio at shortstop right now. Seems he just can't get anything to go his way.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Jose Vinicio was going to have a play at first base or not, but it was a pretty hard hit ball that he made a great snag on.
Yeah.
But 2 infield hits here for the Welland Jackfish, and that's going to elicit a mound visit from Rob Butler to Jesse Hodges.
And we've seen Hodges kind of venting some of the frustration on the mound. It's been a tough inning, and he knows, this Welland Jackfish team, you can't make mistakes because they'll capitalize on them. That's exactly what they've been doing here in this inning. They take that 2-1 lead.
Jesse Hodges has already surpassed his pitch count by a lot from his first outing. He's at 74 pitches now.
42 strikes, 32 balls, and again, it's been a very good outing for Hodges so far, really. You look at what he's been able to do, holding this Jackfish lineup to only 2 runs.
Brings Grayson Barrett to the plate. Jesse Hodges trying to get out of it after a bit of an extended inning here. He's made some good pitches that looked like it would get him out of the inning, but not the case. So now the Maple Leafs have to limit the damage. Swinging a ground ball. This one's to Dan Mara. He flips to second base. He got a pretty tough hop again, but this time the play is made. And the Maple Leafs will get out of it, but not before the Welland Jackfish tack on another run on an infield single. They lead 2-1 over the Maple Leafs here at Dominico Field.
Before I asked you this question, I probably should have talked to you about this before. Before I asked you this question, I probably should have talked to you about this before we started. But do you know the new dimensions of Dominico Field? Have you seen the wall out there?
I mean, I've heard some rumors, and I've seen some pictures. I just don't understand why they had to do it on right field. Like, this just made me have to dip the shoulder even more and skyrocket it over. I mean, I'm up for the challenge. But I don't know. Are the rumors true? I mean, are they going to do the whole park, or they're just going to be doing right field?
They're true. The wall's big out there.
So Dan Mara is going to lead things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dan Mara facing Jimenez, who had a long time in the Welland Jackfish dugout, but he's back out there on the mound for a 4th inning of work. Mara takes outside, the count's 2-2. Dan Mara is 0 for 1 today. Hitting just 143 on the season. 2 hits in his 13 at-bats. Pitch to Mara is low. Dan Mara played college baseball at South Dakota State. Now here for the Maple Leafs for, well, he's one of the longer tenured Maple Leafs. Dan Mara has been with Toronto since 2011. That pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. Count runs full to Mara. A career .292 batting average, dating all the way back to 2011 for Dan Mara. That one's outside, ball 4. Dan Mara will head down to first base and draws IBL walk number 239.
Wow.
Well, I'm on the page. Just his second walk this season, though. And the Maple Leafs have a runner on with nobody out for Ryan Dos Santos.
Yeah, he reached via walk his last time up and also stole a base. So, right part of the lineup here to try to generate some more offense for the Maple Leafs.
Ryan Dos Santos with 6 hits on the year already. Takes a breaking ball that slipped out of the hand of Jimenez, up and away.
Yeah, and Jimenez, it's been a little bit of a rough go here in this game. He hasn't really been able to control his pitches. A lot of free passes given up. But he has been fighting.
That pitch is well inside. Ryan Dos Santos noticing that ball stayed in front of the catcher, Robert Mullen, so signals down to first base Dan Mara to stay put.
Very patient hitter at the plate here is Dos Santos.
Ryan Dos Santos is starting to become a little bit of a veteran in the IBL too. As here's the 2-2 pitch from Jimenez, and this one's hammered on a line, and it is off the top of the wall and over the wall. Ryan Dos Santos has hit a home run, and the Toronto Maple Leafs lead 3-2.
And how about that? Stayed back on it and hits it right over that cage monster. Talked about in BP that he was hitting them, and right there, he gets a hold of it.
Ryan Dos Santos in career at bat number 299 cranks the home run. That's just his third of his Inter-County Baseball League career, but it couldn't have come at a better time for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they've taken the lead.
And we talked about him tapping into that power a little bit this year, and I mean, he does it right there. He gets just a beautiful swing to stay back on it and elevate it.
Did that ball go clean over the wall?
Clean over the wall. It looked at first like it was going to hit off the top, and then no, it just kind of kept sailing.
Obviously, that's way out there, and the backdrop is it's a white building out there in the outfield that I'm looking at, right where that home run went. Got a piece of the top of the wall, but no, that does get over. And the reason that we thought it was going to hit the wall too is that was on a line.
Yeah, that was not a lot of launch angle on that. That got out of here in a hurry.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Greg Carrington is at the plate, and it takes high, 2-1. So now Jimenez has given up home runs in each of his outings in the IBL.
But how big is that for the Maple Leafs to just kind of get on the board that way, get a big swing?
Jose Vinicio on deck should Greg Carrington reach. The count's 3-1. Carrington takes a strike. The 3-2 inside, ball 4. That's the second walk of the inning for Jimenez, and that'll turn things over to the top of the order as Jose Vinicio steps to the plate. And we're going to get a mound visit here for Jimenez. Rich Corrente is warming up in the bullpen for the Welland Jackfish. Rich Corrente had some big outings against the Maple Leafs in that outing in the playoffs. After a quick warm-up, he's going to come right into the ballgame. That is it for Jimenez. So nobody out, a runner on first base. Rich Corrente will inherit this situation, and we'll have more on the big lefty when we come back. So Rich Corrente into the ballgame for the Welland Jackfish. He'll face Jose Venicio. He's inheriting a runner on first base. Rich Corrente will face Venicio, then Jordan Castaldo, then Justin Mara, then John Salazzo, all lefties for the Maple Leafs. First pitch was outside to Venicio. Here's the 1-0. And that one misses as well. Rich Corrente's 2-0. Runner goes. Venicio slashes it down the left field line. That one's foul.
I don't know who that is, but they were making sure to signal that it was foul.
Yeah, it's Chris Nagorski who has two inflatable donuts
I
down
think
the left field
he has
line.
2 inflatable donuts and a gold chain on.
Yeah, well, what's the theme day today?
Paradise at the Park.
Yeah, Paradise at the Park day today. So there's a lot of Lays out in the crowd, and a lot of the bullpen pitchers down the left field line are rocking them. As Corrente delivers a sidearm breaking ball that misses up and in. The count's now 3-1 to Jose Venicio. Everyone's in the spirit here today. Venicio ahead in the count, 3-1, facing Corrente, and Rich Corrente will use his first disengagement to throw over to first base. Greg Carrington is the runner at first. Greg Carrington was going, by the way, on that foul ball hit by Jose Venicio.
It looked like a hit and run was set up. Venicio kind of shortened up his swing and just took it the other way.
Corrente has pitched in 4 innings this season for the Welland Jackfish. And he misses upstairs to Venicio. 2 are on with nobody out for the Jackfish.
That's a good sign out of Venicio. He kind of just took some tough pitches there and did a good job just to get on base and kind of continue to pass this baton. Again, for the Leafs to have success, Jose Venicio is a very big part of that. When you talk about what he's been able to do with the bat over his career here with the Maple Leafs, you look at last year and that long hit streak that he had going late into the year.
Just saw there Danny Howitt warming up in the bullpen, the former Brantford Red Sox. That one misses up and in. So we got a great video.
Oh, shit.
All of that baseball.
That was filmed on the phone by his mom, Barb. So Shout out to the Dos Santos family getting that awesome angle.
Yeah, we don't get to see. You know, when I was walking down the left field line, I realized it was actually the first time I've ever seen a Maple Leafs game being played from that angle. I've always been in the broadcast booth since the very first day that I was introduced to the Maple Leafs. As here's the 1-1. And that one's outside. Throw down to third base is in time to gun down Greg Carrington. What a throw from Robert Mullen. And that's the first out of the inning.
It looked like Carrington didn't expect the throw to be coming down to third. He was kind of going in there slow, and then the last second slide just to try to avoid the tag. Unfortunate break for Carrington there.
Just to finish that thought, the game looks a lot different.
Oh, it does,
from,
yeah.
from down on the field. Boy, those players are big, and the game is fast. This one's hit into the outfield, and a slide, and no signal from anybody, and I think that ball was caught.
They are going to signal now, I believe.
So that's a great sliding catch by Caleb Fiersteak for the second out of the inning, and now Rich Corrente might get out of this, but he has to get through Marcus Connect here on the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, last time up, Connect, he hit one to center field, and it kind of just died. The center fielder made a beautiful play out of it.
Count 1-0 here to Connect. And he takes outside. Just going to mention Rich Corrente has got through 4 innings for the Welland Jackfish, but he has given up 11 hits over those 4 innings. 8 runs, but only 2 of them earned, so his ERA is intact. This is the first non-lefty in the lineup that Rich Corrente is going to have to face, and this is a good matchup here for Marcus Connect. Here's the 2-0. And Connect lines one right to the shortstop. And Rich Corrente will get out of the inning as Tyler Dupuis makes the stab. And Marcus Connect right now is thinking he just needs to get a base hit to fall. He's hit some balls hard, but nothing yet. The Maple Leafs take the lead on a 2-run home run by Ryan Dos Santos. We'll be right back from Dominico Field.
I know that it was a bit of a wild ride, right? Once you came out of university playing at Mac, you finally end up getting an opportunity. You're going to go play out west. You're going to play for the Fort McMurray Giants. Well, for a lot of teams or for a lot of players at that time, that was right before the COVID season, right? And Fort McMurray, they were one of those teams that ended up folding because of COVID. Can you just tell me about that whole experience and what was it like once you knew you finally got that great opportunity and then the team ended up folding?
Yeah, I had heard about them having that season kind of during COVID. It seemed like it was, there's a light at the end of the tunnel kind of feeling of, hey, I got something to look forward to, something to work through during the lockdowns in the backyard, and yeah, it was really great. Kept me going, kept me pushing. But then as soon as it folded, it just kind of felt like one of those, can't get a win these days. Everything's getting canceled, but ended up working out in my favor. I ended up reaching out to the Edmonton prospects in that league that still stayed afloat and worked out to get out there. And I think where I am today is because of that opportunity. So, sometimes everything happens for a reason. Would have been great to play for Fort Mac and was super excited there, but glad I was still able to get out there and play.
I feel like that was kind of a turning point in your baseball career. Obviously, I mean,
Tyler Dupuis leading things off. Made that great catch out there at shortstop to put things away for Rich Corrente and the Welland Jackfish in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Maple Leafs were threatening with a runner in scoring position, but they'll settle for the lead right now. Ryan Dos Santos in that 4th inning gets the 2-run home run as Dupuis fouls this one off. Jesse Hodges is back on the mound for the Maple Leafs and ahead in the count. The 2 runs that Hodges have let up in this game, the first 2 of the season for Jesse. The 2-0. Dupuis lines one to shortstop, and a bit of taste of Dupuis' own medicine. This time it's lined right to Dan Mara at second base. And that's the first out.
Third baseman number 15, Steven Moretto.
So it's Marcus Connect who lines out to Tyler Dupuis, and then Dupuis lines out to Dan Mara. And now Steven Moretto takes outside, actually no, caught the outside corner for a strike. Counts 0-1. Great start for Steven Moretto to the season. 8 for 23 coming into this game, a couple homers, 7 RBIs, and a .347 batting average. He swings through that one. The count's now 1-2.
Yeah, we talked about this top half of the lineup for the Welland Jackfish, and they have been productive to say the least so far this year.
Pitch number 85 from Jesse Hodges. That misses high. Counts now 2-2. Hodges is taking the training wheels off in this start. And that one's over the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Pitch count getting up there, but Hodges still looking strong on the mound for the Maple Leafs.
Center fielder number 21, Brendan Hupe.
Julian Valdez warming up in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. And there you see Julian Tomachko as well with the lay on, relaxing in the sun.
The bullpen's having a great time.
Yeah. That pitch misses low. Brandon Hupe at the plate for the Jackfish. Hupe comes to Welland out of British Columbia in North Delta.
He's another one of those guys that just off to a hot start. .350 batting average coming into this one.
That one's way up and in on Jesse Hodges, or by Jesse Hodges. And
I guess they're going to say that hit him.
Hupe is going to head down to first base.
Catcher number 34, Robert Mullen.
So a runner on base for Robert Mullen here with 2 away in the inning. And Rob Butler's going to come to the mound. Jesse Hodges' pitch count is up over 90 now. And Rob Butler will take the ball from him, but an excellent day of work for Jesse Hodges. Gets through 90 pitches this time around, and if Jesse Hodges can put together performances like this against tough teams like the Welland Jackfish, the Maple Leafs, that will get them a long way this season. The score 3-2 Maple Leafs over the Welland Jackfish with Julian Valdez coming to the game. We'll be right back. Back here at Dominico Field, where Julian Valdez is going to try and preserve that run at first base for Jesse Hodges and the lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He comes in with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning, and he has a tough task here facing Robert Mullen, one of the better hitters in the Intercounty Baseball League, the catcher for the Jackfish. Runner goes, and the pitch by Valdez is all the way to the backstop. So ball 1 to Mullen, and now a runner in scoring position from the Big Reddy.
Yeah, and Valdez, we've talked about it for a couple appearances now. He's one of those guys. He has great stuff. He just needs to kind of figure it out. You know, we've seen glimpses of what he can be able to do. He's shown he's able to control it, and then some starts to kind of get away from him. But he's one of those guys. He has the stuff. Now he just needs to get it under control.
The 0-1. That one's just low. Julian Valdez has appeared in 4 innings for the Maple Leafs this season. He's given up 5 hits, 7 runs, 4 of them earned. And he's also walked 7. That's the number he'll want to get down.
That's the big number there. 7 walks to only 4 strikeouts.
And this one's hit to center field. It's going to hang up for Marcus Connect, who makes the catch, and Julian Valdez does a good job to get out of the inning. And we will head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Maple Leafs looking to tack on. They lead 3-2 over the Jackfish. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Dominico Field. The Toronto Maple Leafs looking to get things back on track and win their 2nd ball game of 2024. Right now, leading the Welland Jackfish 3-2 with a long way to go. John Salazzo is at the plate facing the lefty Rich Corrente with the Jackfish. Another lefty on deck, and Justin Mara. Here's the 0-1. Salazzo takes inside. 1-1. John Salazzo, one of 2 Toronto Maple Leafs to hit a home run this season. The other one, Jose Vinicio, that came against the Kitchener Panthers on the first at-bat of the ball game. And Salazzo hits one on the ground, a dive at second base, and it gets into center field. John Salazzo has himself a leadoff single.
Take what you can get there. Again, continue the momentum. Just get on base and pass the torch down. These Maple Leaf hitters, they need to get their bats warmed up.
Pitcher number 9 is Justin Mora.
Again, I was chatting with Dos Santos pre-game, and he said to me, this is a big game for them. You know, the big loss by Welland yesterday, coming back, try to get some revenge. But he also said, 5-2, that's very manageable, very manageable. He's like 1-6, still manageable, but it just looks a lot worse.
And at the end of the day, 8 of the 9 teams do make the playoffs in the Intercounty Baseball League. The problem is you don't want to play the 1 or 2 seed in the first, and you probably don't want to play the 3 or 4 seed either. So for the Maple Leafs, they want to get up into that top 4 before the playoffs start. This one's hit pretty well by Justin Mara at the wall, and it is gone. Justin Mara takes Rich Carente deep, and the Maple Leafs lead 5-2.
And how about that? Talked about getting his bat warm, and that's exactly what was needed there for Justin Mara.
Finger guns in the outfield for the Bushman on his way around, and Justin Mara has his first of the season. Cashes in the other guy with a dinger on the ear for the Maple Leafs. That's John Salazzo. And the Maple Leafs out to a 5-2 lead in their new Baby Blues in the bottom of the 5th.
Are the Baby Blues the luck?
So it brings the pitcher, Jesse Hodges, to the plate, and he pops it up on the infield. Tyler Dupuis is under it at short, and he makes the catch, 2 away. Boy, the ball is carrying today at Dominico Field. This is not something we've seen the first couple days. It's a warm, sunny day at the pits. There's not very much wind. In fact, the wind that there is heading kind of towards center field, veering towards right a bit. And the power hitters for the Maple Leafs starting to get it up in the air a little bit, and it's flying.
Yeah, we talked about it time and time again with this Leaf squad. They're a good team. 1 through 9, this lineup is very good. It was just a matter of time when they would get rolling and get going.
Well, they're rolling now, but still have a long way to go. The lead is 5-2. Dan Mara at the plate trying to keep tacking on. Rich Carente deals outside. This is the kind of game, too, where the depth of both of these teams gets tested early in the season. You have to play on back-to-back days. And for the Welland Jackfish, they only used 1 pitcher yesterday. And they have everyone you'd have to imagine available out of the bullpen. So if they can tack on a couple more runs, they're probably better suited than the Toronto Maple Leafs in these last 4 innings. This one's hit down the left field line. Fair ball. Dan Mara is going to hit it all the way to the wall. He's headed towards second base, and he's in with a double. Dan Mara has a 1-out double that was fair by a couple of feet down the left field line. And Ryan Dos Santos, who homered in his last at-bat, comes to the plate.
It's going to be another meeting on the mound, but he had a great piece of hitting there by Mara, and that was something we saw him do a lot of last year. It's just kind of those slap hits, whether it be down the line or kind of just finding a hole in the infield.
Well, the Maple Leafs get to Rich Carente, and that's going to do it for the Welland Jackfish lefty. We got a new pitcher in the ball game, and we'll have that for you when we come back. Ryan Dos Santos comes to the plate for the Maple Leafs. He'll face Danny Howitt, who has had a good start to his Welland Jackfish career. Came over from the Brantford Red Sox. He's pitched a couple innings, got a couple strikeouts, and that was in a game against the very Baycats, which the Jackfish won. Ryan Dos Santos is at the plate. The count is 0-1. And here's the pitch from Howitt. Upstairs, 1-1. Now, Ryan Dos Santos hit the home run in his last at-bat, but he probably just needs a single to score. The runner at second base. Dos Santos takes a strike. Counts 1-2.
Came in today batting .285, and he's raised that to .318 with his play today. Having a great day at the plate.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a slow breaking ball from Danny Howitt. 2 away.
Yeah, look, he's relaying the information there to Greg Carrington. Oh, excuse me, Connor Lewis.
So this would have been Greg Carrington's spot in the lineup, but they're going to counter the lefty move made by the Welland Jackfish with Connor Lewis, who's a right-handed batter. Maple Leafs playing the matchup game here early. It's just the bottom of the 5th inning. But Connor Lewis can come into the game for Greg Carrington and play that outfield spot, so it keeps things simple.
Yeah, you mentioned this game. This is where depth will get tested, not only the pitching-wise, but also just the position-wise of these two teams.
1-1. Or 1-0, I should say. Now 1-1. Maple Leafs have scored a couple in the inning. That came on the home run by Justin Mara. Now Connor Lewis trying to tack on with a single here in the 5th. And he hits one on the ground towards first base. This is going to be a tough play. A dive by Barrett. Flip to first in time to get the out. And the Welland Jackfish get out of the inning. What a play by Grayson Barrett at first base with the dive. And Danny Howitt comes over and covers the Maple Leafs, leading the Welland Jackfish 5-2 as we head to the 6th.
Is back with the Toronto Maple Leafs, as you may have seen, and a lot of people thought that he might be retired in the Intercounty Baseball League this season, but he's back, and it was a bit of a unique scenario that's allowed Jordan Castaldo to come back to the IBL, and he said it was just an opportunity that he couldn't pass up. I chatted with Jordan Castaldo at Wednesday's practice. And you've been working hard in the offseason as well. I know last year we thought we weren't sure what your role with the team was going to be, if you're going to retire, if you're going to kind of move into a coaching role. From what I'm hearing, you're right back into it. You're going to play regular playing time. Can you just kind of tell me how that came to be?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously with kind of the way my life's gone here now with firefighting around the corner, I got a little bit of time on my hands, and you know, just being kind of, you know, physically in shape for a lot of that stuff. It was easy to kind of get in baseball shape here. So, you know, with all the excitement around the team, the new ownership group, it just seemed like too good an opportunity to pass up right now. So, you know, really looking forward to it. You know, obviously a lot of changes, but exciting time to be a Toronto Maple Leaf, that's for sure.
Welcome back here to Dominico Field. A couple of changes in the outfield. Ryan Dos Santos is going to move to left. Connor Lewis slots in center field, and then Marcus Connect is in right field. Marcus Connect has played most of his Intercounty Baseball League at one of the corner outfield positions, and Connor Lewis has mostly played center field for the Maple Leafs, so maybe a little bit more familiarity in the outfield now for the Maple Leafs outfielders. Here's the 1-0 to Mateo Porcelado with Julian Valdez on the mound. His task was to get one out in the bottom of the 5th inning, and he did just that. He got a fly ball to center field.
And just touching base again on the outfielders, I think it's a plus when you can have multiple outfielders be comfortable anywhere really in all 3 positions and play plus defense. Valdez, a good spot right there on the lower outer half, and again, if that's the Julian Valdez that this Maple Leafs team can get, they will take it.
Here's the 2-1. Hit in the air towards left field. John Salazzo sprinting back and coming in and making a sliding catch is Ryan Dos Santos. What a play. Welcome to your new position in the outfield.
Yeah, how about that? You move over from right field all the way to left and you're already making an impact. Have yourself a day, number 8.
So that works out well for the Maple Leafs. Now Caleb Fiersteak comes to the plate. Ryan Dos Santos, one of the faster Maple Leafs, maybe the fastest Maple Leaf on the team. He had to run a long way to make that catch. I thought John Salazzo was going to have a better chance at it, and then all of a sudden Ryan Dos Santos spawned in and made the catch.
Covered a lot of ground to get to that one.
The 1-0 to Caleb Fiersteak. And he takes high. Julian Valdez on the mound has recorded a couple consecutive outs over 2 different innings. That one's fouled straight back. Caleb Fiersteak had a pretty good cut at it.
So far in Battersea's face, Valdez doing a good job just kind of attacking the zone here. He's fallen behind, I believe, once or twice. This one, he's behind here 2-1, but just been a good job just to get the ball in the zone and let the hitters get themselves out.
Valdez pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Counts now 2-2. Strike 3 called. Julian Valdez gets through, or gets his first strikeout of the inning.
Designated hitter number 27, Hodes.
So that brings Cole Cote to the plate. Valdez delivers first pitch fastball in the dirt.
And just to kind of think about how different this game would have been, you know, Cote, he got a hold of one early on in the 2nd inning, and off the top of the fence, that could have been the 3-run shot, but only 1 run comes across, and it's a very different ball game now. Leafs, they've been able to continue to get that shutdown performance from Jesse Hodges, and then they are able to tack on some more runs themselves, but just a very big moment in the game that could have went the wrong way for the Maple Leafs.
Here's the 1-1. And that one bounces out in front of home plate. Valdez pitch, that one's fouled off. 2-2 the count now on Cote. Cote is 1 for 2 in the ball game. That one is a double that cashed in the first run of the ball game for the Jackfish. Now he hits a high chopper to Jose Vinicio. He comes in, makes the catch, throws to first in time to get the out. A 1-2-3 inning for Julian Valdez. And the Maple Leafs continue to lead the Jackfish 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube is brought to you by MNP, National in Scope, Local in Focus. MNP is one of Canada's leading professional services firms, proudly serving individuals, businesses, and organizations since 1958. Danny Howitt on the mound for the Welland Jackfish, entering into his second inning of work. Jose Vinicio is at the plate. Maple Leafs leading 5-2 over the Welland Jackfish. Top of the 6th inning here as Vinicio fouls it off his foot and shakes it off. Maple Leafs lost 10-0 to the Welland Jackfish yesterday. Saw this game as a great opportunity to not only turn things around after the big loss in yesterday afternoon's game, but just to kickstart things for the season. Talked to Greg Carrington before the game, and I said, is this one of those games that can kind of propel some momentum for the team for the season? And he said every win feels like that's what it's done for the Maple Leafs. Every time you win a game, you feel like you can just keep it going.
And it just seems, you've gotten to this point a pretty full contribution from everybody. The pitching has been sensational. The bats have come alive. Defense, for the most part, has been pretty solid outside of a couple plays.
Two and two, the count now on Jose Vinicio. Now the count's 2 and 2 on Vinicio. Danny Howitt came into the 5th inning with 1 out already recorded, got the next 2. Now he faces the top of the order in Vinicio, and he takes low ball 4. Danny Howitt had a nice season last year for the Brantford Red Sox, had a 3-4 record on a Brantford team that didn't win a lot of games, but he was their go-to guy on the mound. Started 6 games, appeared in 21, and had an ERA of 4.08, which is excellent in the Intercounty Baseball League. Had 58 strikeouts to the 39 walks as well, so a good ratio.
It's another lefty arm coming in to face the platoon of lefties, I guess you could say it, for this Maple Leaf squad at the top of the order.
Count is 0-1 here on Jordan Costello. There goes Jose Vinicio. Mullins threw down to second base, is not in time. Vinicio swipes second, and he's in scoring position with nobody out for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the 6th.
And that's what Jose Vinicio can do for you. Steal you 90 feet. That's stolen base number 15 on the year for the Maple Leafs. And for Vinny, I believe that'll be his 5th. And it will. His 5th of the year.
Jordan Castaldo hits one in the air. This one's to left field, and it's caught about 10 feet in front of the wall. Jose Vinicio tagging, and a heads-up play by Jose Vinicio as he comes into third base. So now the Maple Leafs have another opportunity to get an add-on run.
Center fielder number 29, Marcus Connect.
Julian Tomochko warming up in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. So this is Marcus Connect at the plate. Danny Howitt is originally from Brantford, Ontario, which was close to the Brantford Red Sox when he was playing for them, but he also plays for the Brock Badgers in St. Catharines, which is right near the Welland Jackfish Stadium as well. So Danny Howitt has got the best of both worlds in his IBL career, close to where he's going to school and close to where he lives last season with Brantford. Now it's got one more year of eligibility playing for the Brock Badgers next season. Marcus Connect was a former 3rd round draft pick of the Toronto Blue Jays. Behind the count here to Danny Howitt. Connect fouls it off. Marcus Connect actually got drafted twice. Got taken in the later rounds by the Minnesota Twins and then came back the next year and was a high pick by the Toronto Blue Jays. But just kind of nagging injuries have kind of slowed down the professional career of Marcus Connect. He's transitioned over to the coaching side of things and now providing his services, which are a big asset to the Maple Leafs. Here's a ground ball. That one's bobbled at second base. The run's going to come in to score. Marcus Connect's thrown out at first, and the Maple Leafs have extended their lead to 6-2.
And talked about Jose Vinicio kind of stealing you 90 feet. He just does a phenomenal job right there. He made the second baseman. He takes his eye off the ball because he notices Vinicio just break for home, bobbles it, and Connect almost able to capitalize, making it, but just gets thrown out.
At the end of the day, didn't have much impact on the play. I mean, if he would have come home, had the opportunity to, but a good job by Grayson Barrett at first base just to at least get the out. And things look a lot better for Danny Howitt. Instead of being there a runner on first base and 1 out, no one on, 2 outs, and it's John Salazzo at the plate, and that's a guy that the Welland Jackfish want to make sure that they have the bases empty when he comes to the plate. John Salazzo, obviously a massive power threat.
But how about this from the Maple Leafs offense? 3 straight innings of at least scoring 1 run, and that's just a fantastic job to, since going down 2-1 in this game, they've answered every single inning to just kind of add on to this lead.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. And Salazzo takes a strike. John Salazzo, a couple years ago, wasn't even sure if he wanted to come back and play baseball in the Intercounty Baseball League. With him being a conductor in his off time, it has been a grind through his IBL career. As the 1-2 pitch just missed, now it's 2-2. He said, you know, he kind of lost a bit of the love of the game. He wasn't sure if he wanted to come back, but when he saw the opportunity to come play for the Maple Leafs for another year, he couldn't resist the opportunity. And the 2-2 pitch, this one's hit down the line foul. Tomahawked a high breaking ball from Danny Howitt. John Salazzo has also had a slight change in his career path as well. He's now working a little bit closer to here in Toronto, and instead of working nights, he's working in the daytime, which Makes things a little bit easier on the sleep schedule for John
I'm
Salazzo.
sure it does.
He pops this one up. This may stay in play. Mullen coming over. Barrett calls him off. And it's Grayson Barrett who makes the catch to retire the Maple Leafs. But not before they tack on another run. The speed of Jose Vinicio gets himself around the base path and eventually comes in to score on an RBI groundout by Marcus Connect. The Maple Leafs lead 6-2 over the Welland Jackfish.
Welcome back here to the top half of the 7th here at Dominico Field, Toronto and Welland. The Maple Leafs up 6-2, and newly entered into the game, Julian Tomachko. He'll come in to do the pitching duties. Currently on the season rocking a 4.5 ERA in 4 games, 4 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts and 4 walks. He'll face 9-1-2 here in the Welland Jackfish lineup. First pitch will go for ball 1.
Yeah, and Julian Valdez did a good job. He got 4 solid outs for the Leafs. A very good bounce back performance for him. He needed it.
Yeah, and that's something you want to see out of the Leafs. If you can get that kind of production in the middle parts of games, especially out of a guy like Julian Valdez, that's a massive, massive help for the bullpen. Tomachko finds the strike zone there, so 2-1 count here to Grayson Barrett, who has had a really good game over there at first base. Some solid defense. Excuse me, Barrett is on deck. Up to bat, it's actually Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, and in an ideal world, I'd imagine that Tomachko gets the 7th. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nagorski get the 8th, and then, you know, we saw Dustin Richardson in uniform, which is one of the first times I can say that this season. He was doing long toss with Adam Mara down on the field line earlier. This seems like the kind of game if he wants to get his first outing in.
For sure, it'll be interesting to see if we do see DR make an appearance here as Hunt draws the walk. So now we'll have Grayson Barrett come to the dish, the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, and as we say that, Richardson begins to walk down to the bullpen. You know, it's games like these where you start the bullpen early in the 5th inning. You know, you can't get 5 full out of Hodges. And you rely heavily on these guys. We've seen it a lot recently, which is deep innings, long innings out of the Leafs bullpen. And it's something that, you know, so far they haven't been able to all be perfect all at once. Valdez obviously very good today. Tomachko looking to capitalize on that and keep it going. You got a 4-run lead. It's first time we've seen that in good little while, but he's got to throw strikes, and that's something, you know, you mentioned it earlier, a 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio in 4 innings. He's walking a guy every inning on average, and something kind of like with Valdez too, you got to control it.
For sure, and he's had 1 walk every appearance. Yeah, his last appearance, he actually got the win in the decision. Pitched 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and 4 batters faced.
Yeah, he was on the mound in the top of the 9th against the Panthers.
Sliced under the glove there of Castaldo. So Barrett will have a no-out hit. Hunt advances up to second. So runners on first and second here for Welland with the top half of the order coming up. And we've been discussing it at length. This top half of the order has been dangerous. Tyler Dupuis step into the dish.
Shortstop number 6, Tyler Dupuis.
Yeah, it's an age-old adage, the leadoff walk will kill you. In this case, it's Welland, as they'll have a pinch runner on first base here. A leadoff walk will kill you regardless. When you have the 8-9-1 guys coming up against a team of this caliber, you cannot be doing that. You get the guys at the bottom on base to set them up for the guys at the top who are good enough. Chris Nagorski begins to throw down the left field line. And I can't imagine the Leafs are going to give Tomashko too much of a rope here. Just with the game where it's at, looking for a win. It's Welland, it's a big game, and Tomashko hasn't been able to find the strike zone as, you know, he throws another one low there, so.
Yep, third straight batter that he has started the at-bat off with a ball. Tomashko fighting the approach. That popped up to the shortstop the second baseman Mara. He'll make the catch just out on the grass for out number 1. So a big out number 1 there for Tomashko after the leadoff walk and the sharply hit single right past diving Jordan Castaldo. Moretto steps up and swinging that first pitch strike. So 4th batter that Tomashko has faced. It's the first time he's led off with strike 1. Second pitch in the dirt, catching it on the hop there was Mara. Looked like he wanted to throw down or just kind of bluffing the throw to Hunt there at second base.
Yeah, Julian Tomashko had a rather unique outing his last time out. Came against the Kitchener Panthers, and you know, pitchers always want to get through scoreless innings. Julian Tomashko got in a lot of trouble early on, right at the beginning of the inning, and found a way to get out of it. This one's hammered into left field, and the catch is made by Ryan Dos Santos, 2 away.
Quick throwback in, you mentioned there, and yeah, you looked at the last time out, no earned run. He's only given up 2 runs here in 4 innings. Again, a small sample size, the ERA probably not telling the full story of how well Tomashko has been so far this season. We're talking about the walk to strikeout ratio. It was 4 and 4 coming into today. Now it's 5 walks to the 4 strikeouts.
Swing and a miss, strike 1. More action in the Toronto Maple Leafs bullpen. That's Chris Nagorski getting loose for the Maple Leafs. This one's popped up on the infield, close to foul territory. Now it's actually hooking back into fair territory. It's Jose Vinicio who makes the catch right around the shortstop position to retire the Welland Jackfish in the inning. The Toronto Maple Leafs lead by 4 and looking to tack on here at Dominico Field.
Greg Carrington about the transition about becoming a pitcher in the IBL and what he might be featuring.
Well, I worked this all off season at this place called BDG, and that place I'm around pitchers all day. See guys pitching all the time. I'm like, well, let me try out a little bit. I got a good arm. I think I could pick up an off-speed pitch or two and figure some stuff out and help the team out any way I can. I know last year there was a few games there where I couldn't make it on time due to other stuff, because IBL players, we got other stuff to do in our lives. But if I can make it there a little bit later now and be an option out of the bullpen to help the team, I think it's really great.
Justin Mara, who hit home run in his last at-bat. They gave the Toronto Maple Leafs a 5-2 lead at the time. Hit that home run off of Rich Corrente. Now he'll face Danny Howitt for the first time. Mara takes high, ball one.
And how about that last half inning work done by Julian Tomachko? You talked about he had an interesting appearance his last time out. It was a lot of action in the first half where he thought maybe he would give up a run. Kind of the similar thing here against Welland. It was the first two batters reaching, and then he really settled down and got out of the inning without giving up any damage. So a fantastic job on the mound done by that young man.
2-0 the count. Swing and a miss by Justin Mara. Danny Howitt crossed him up with a breaking ball.
Justin Mara coming into today batting .235. He has raised his batting average to .316. He has had a sensational day at the plate. 2 for 2, 3 RBIs, including that big home run we saw.
And now he takes a walk, and isn't that just kind of a metaphor for early season woes? The Maple Leafs starting off 1-5, but things can change quickly, especially when you haven't played a lot of games early in the season.
Yeah, and I think the big takeaway from what's happened with this squad so far today, hitting-wise, they have 6 walks. They have been seeing a lot of pitches, taking their time at the plate, not chasing a whole lot.
Just fouls it off.
Yeah, just a fantastic game plan, really through and through this lineup.
So Jesse Hodges is not pitching anymore for the Maple Leafs, but still in the lineup in the DH position. He's got a runner on first base. Jesse Hodges is a guy that came into this season really motivated to put up better numbers at the plate than he did last season. And if Jesse Hodges can, hit close to 300 and pitch with an ERA under 4, he's one of the more valuable players in the Intercounty Baseball League. Here's the 1-1. Hodges hits this one in the air pretty well towards center field, but it's gonna hang up out there. And the catch is made.
And looking at Hodges' numbers so far this year, obviously, again, he's another one of those guys that's been off to a little bit of a slow start. He hasn't struck out a whole bunch. Only 2 strikeouts in 10 at-bats. You look at it, he's making contacts, it's just he can't find heat for anywhere to land, and that's just been the unfortunate part for Hodges to start the season.
Dan Mara at the plate now, and he takes up and away, ball 1. Dan Mara is 1 for 2 with a walk on the afternoon. The one hit that Mara has was a ringing double down the left field line. Kept it just inside the foul line to left. The 1-1 pitch. That one finds the zone. Danny Howard ahead in the count 1-2.
Dan Mara so far today, 1 for 2 with the walk.
The 1-2 pitch. This one's hit on the ground. This could be two. Flip to second for one. On to first in time. Double play. Another good inning from Danny Howard. He's now pitched 2 2/3 innings for the Welland Jackfish, and he's keeping them in it. It's the Maple Leafs who lead 6-2.
Now at first base, number 15.
New pitcher into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's Chris Nagorski. Another lineup move as well. Grayson Barrett is out of the lineup for the Welland Jackfish. Dawson Tweet is in. Nagorski will face Robert Mullen to start things off. First pitch is high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's a breaking ball that finds the zone 1-1. Chris Nagorski has spent the majority of his career with the Barrie Baycats, now here for the Toronto Maple Leafs for the last couple seasons.
Yeah, we always talk about the experience that Nagorski has. And, you know, he's been in the league for so long. He's been such a steady arm out of the pen for so long. And now, you know, you look at it, he's had a little bit of a rough go here with the Maple Leafs last season. Didn't go the way he wanted. And trying to right that ship here.
Mullen takes way inside. Robert Mullen is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Chris Nagorski would love to get him here, and the first out of the inning. Way outside, ball 3, count runs full. Now this is, Chris Nagorski's gonna have to make a big pitch here. You gotta be careful of the power of Robert Mullen, but you also don't want to give a free base to start off the inning. Here's the full count pitch. Mullen fouls it off to the left. Dustin Richardson looks like he is almost ready to go in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. so he will likely get the 9th. Just kind of slowly warming up. He's standing with his arms crossed on the mound in the bullpen. This one's lined into the outfield for a base hit. Robert Mullen kicks off the inning for the Welland Jackfish with a single.
Not sure if you saw, but it was a good effort by Vinicio to try to try to make a catch on that.
He's got hops, but not enough. That was well over his head into the outfield. So the Welland Jackfish need 4 runs. They've got 6 outs left. Mateo Porcelato is at the plate. This is likely Chris Nagorski's inning, but Dustin Richardson is a left-handed pitcher. So if the Maple Leafs wanted to try and match things up with 2 outs in the inning or something like that, that's an option. Here's the 1-0. Outside 2-0. And Mateo Porcelato has worked himself into a hitter's count.
What's the Rangers score?
A 2-0.
Nobody has a Rangers score?
And that one finds the outside corner, 2-1.
That's a good job by Nagorski to try to get back into the count here, down 2-0, and trying to work his way back here, just try to get out of the little jam.
This one's hit in the air pretty well towards right field, and it is gone. Mateo Porcelato, a 2-run home run, and the Welland Jackfish have cut the lead to 2.
Looked like an inside fastball, and he just kind of turned on that. Porcelato got every stitch of that baseball, hitting it almost to the infield of that little diamond right behind there in right field.
And now Chris Nagorski is still looking to record the first out of the inning. Dustin Richardson starting to warm up a little bit more hastily. And we got another pitcher warming up for the Maple Leafs as well.
Some double barrel action going down in the Maple Leafs bullpen. And we talk at length about this Welland Jackfish lineup and how deep it runs, how good they are, really 1 through 9, and you can never take your foot off the gas. They are always able to respond, and we saw it big right there.
I think that might be Dean Christides warming up for the Maple Leafs, which suggests that the 9th is Dustin Richardson's, and if Chris Nagorski needs some help getting out of this, that would be Dean Christides who would come in. He's had a pretty good start to the season for the Maple Leafs. It's one of those players that comes out of the OUA, Christides. And this one's hit up the middle into center field for a base hit. Caleb Fiersteak is on. And the Welland Jackfish are going to bring the tying run to the plate here in the form of Cole Cote, who just missed a home run in his first at-bat of the game. That one was to right field.
And late in this game, the bottom half of this order, it's working right now. And we talk about the 1 through 5 so much at the start of the game, and then the bottom half here is the ones that are putting the production on to try to flip the order again.
Yeah, Dustin Richardson and Dean Christides getting warmed up for the Maple Leafs. And on the other side of things, the Welland Jackfish have an arm that's getting loose as well. That's Davey Mendez down the line. So if Welland is able to take the lead, they got a pretty good option to try and close it out. This one swung on a miss, but the runner goes. Cole Cote takes low in the dirt. Caleb Fiersteak is going to swipe second base on the wild pitch.
And that's just unfortunate because it looks like Fiersteak, when he took off, he stumbled a little bit. If Morrow was able to come up with that cleanly, most likely he has him gunned out there at second. Just an unfortunate break there for the Leafs.
Ethan Hunt in the on-deck circle. The tying run is at the plate in the form of Cole Cote. And he hits one on the ground towards third base. That one rolls into foul territory. The count's now 0-2, and this is a real opportunity for Chris Nagorski to get the first out of the inning and keep things in check here for the Maple Leafs.
And this will be a big out, number one. Just kind of settle yourself down here in this inning.
0-2. Fouled off. That one towards the right side. Cole Cote fouls off a pretty good pitch. Mateo Porcelato did the big damage in the inning. The two-run home run, which has made things quite interesting here at Dominico Field. The Welland Jackfish threatening in the top of the eighth. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And it's just fouled off by Cote. A breaking ball from Nagorski was well low, but Cote got a piece of it.
He is just staying alive right now at the plate. I mean, Nagorski is throwing him everything, it feels like, but the kitchen sink.
Ethan Hunt, hopeful of an at-bat, on deck. Cote still behind in the count, 0-2. And he fouls another one off. 3 consecutive foul balls from Cole Cote, down 0-2. There's the first ball of the at-bat. It's inside, 1-2. 2 seasons of NCAA Division II baseball for Cole Cote on his resume. Starting the season 2 for 15, but has had a good day at the plate today. Nagorski uses a disengagement there with the runner at second base.
Yeah, Fiersteak was just hopping off there. Nobody really covering at second base either.
Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2-2.
Looked to be a slider, and then he wanted to catch that outside half. Just, again, held on to it a little bit too long. This has been a fantastic at-bat by Cote.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. And he just missed inside, and the count runs full. And how about this at-bat from Cole Cote? Down 0-2, fouls off 3 consecutive pitches, and now he's worked it full. Can Chris Nagorski get the first out of the inning? Here's the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. And it's Nagorski who wins the battle for out number 1.
Fantastic job by Nagorski just to finally get that out number 1, but you also got to tip your cap. That was a sensational at-bat put up by Cole right there.
So Ethan Hunt steps to the plate, and then it'll be Dawson Tweet who will get his first at-bat. He's on deck. This one's lined into the outfield, but it's going to hang up, and it's caught. And now the throw to second base is in time, and they double him off. Caleb Fiersteak did not know how many outs there were. Ethan Hunt lines into the double play, and the Maple Leafs and Chris Nagorski get out of it. They do allow the 2 runs. That's Mateo Porcelato who hits the 2-run shot, and it's a 2-run ball game at Dominico Field.
Tell me a little bit about those teams. Was there something about those Barry Baycats teams, especially when you'd won 5 in a row, that kind of separated you guys from everyone else?
Yeah, I mean, it's the group of guys that get put together for that, and the continuity year in and year out um, really takes the team to another level. Obviously, talented baseball players has an effect, and we had some good baseball players over those years. But if you have a core group of guys that stick together, they like playing together, they hang out off the field, they want to see each other succeed. Those are the types of teams that make it far in the playoffs. And then you sprinkle in some really good baseball players, and it takes a team to that next level. So really, it's about the guys. It's about support, from the ownership and the fans, and just that energy that gets brought to the field every single day really turns into something special when it gets put all together.
Welcome back here to the bottom half of the 8th, and a force to be reckoned with has entered onto the mound. Davey Mendez steps up here for the Welland Jackfish, and his first batter he'll face is Ryan Dos Santos, who has had himself, again, a very solid game. 2 at-bats, 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and he's walked. A big challenge here for the number 8 hitter in the Leafs lineup, and he takes a big whiff of that one, down 0-2 here.
Yeah, David Mendez is going to be a tough test for this Maple Leafs lineup. Ryan Dos Santos, famously one of the few players to get a hit off of Davey Mendez. And he swings and misses, a 3-pitch strikeout for Mendez in the bottom of the 8th. Well, the Welland Jackfish are going all in to try and win this second of 2 consecutive games between the 2 teams. They have a great shot to shut things down here with Davey Mendez, and they'll take their chances against Dustin Richardson in the 9th. Welland Jackfish are also one of the few teams to get to Dustin Richardson in his IBL career.
And this is a tough test right here. Just Davey Mendez, he is firing at it right now.
Swing and a miss. Davey Mendez is also getting in some work. He hasn't pitched since the 2nd game of the season for the Jackfish.
Very well rested.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Davey Mendez blew it by him.
Shortstop number 1, Jose Vanicio.
So how about this entrance? 6 pitches and 2 strikeouts so far here for Mendez as it's entering in.
What are you trying to say?
I will not say anything until this inning is complete.
First pitch, Vanicio fouled off.
7.
Jose Vanicio came up through the minor league system, so he's seen pitchers like Davey Mendez. Might be better suited to face off against the tough righty. Here's the 0-2. Strike 2.
8.
I think there's a good chance that Davey Mendez tries to find the zone here against Jose Vanicio. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And it's hit on the ground to first first base, 2 strikeouts, 3 outs recorded, 9 pitches, 9 strikes, but not the immaculate inning from Davey Mendez, who did everything he needed to do except get that swing and a miss from Jose Vinicio. It's closing time here at Dominico Field, and it's Dustin Richardson coming into the game. So Chris Nagorski is into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He'll face Dawson Tweet, 9-1-2. Or Dustin Richardson, I should say, is into the game for the Maple Leafs.
Doctor has arrived.
This is the first outing of the season for Richardson. At one point in the Intercounty Baseball League, Dustin Richardson was absolutely unhittable. But now a veteran in the Intercounty Baseball League, and trust me, he's still finding a way to make it work. Goes down 0-2 here against the number 9 hitter in Dawson Tweet. And finds the zone, strike 1.
And he is a force when he's on the mound. A good fastball, still has that wicked off speed as well.
Here's the 1-2. And it's fisted into the outfield, and it drops for a base hit. Dawson Tweet is aboard, and the tying run will come to the plate for the Welland Jackfish in the top of the 9th.
There's a lot of fight in this Welland Jackfish team. They do not give up. We saw it last inning with the 2-run bomb off the bat of Porcelato. And now you see Tweet start off the inning, and you got the top of the order. This is going to be a tough one to close out.
A pitch on the inside corner, strike 1. Dustin Richardson facing Tyler Dupuis, and by the way, Dupuis does have a home run this season. Now, that is not Tyler Dupuis' game at all. He's had 1 home run as his season career high in the Intercounty Baseball League. And he just gets a piece of it and fouls it into the catcher, Justin Mara. So the count's now 0-2. Dustin Richardson, like Davey Mendez, has that flat fastball that a lot of hitters find difficult to hit. He pairs that with a slider, but for Dustin Richardson, if you ask him what his pitch repertoire is, he'll say fastball, fastball, fastball. He loves that pitch, and that's what worked out for him in the major leagues playing with the Boston Red Sox as well. That pitch is well outside. The count's 1-2.
Like I mentioned, he has a lot of height on the mound, a lot of muscle. He can get down that mound pretty quick, and he has a lot of velocity behind it.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Dustin Richardson gets him with the high fastball, and there's 1 away. The Maple Leafs have 2 players who have appeared in Major League Baseball on the roster this year. They have Dustin Richardson, who played a couple seasons for the Boston Red Sox, and they also have Angel Castro, who pitched 4 innings in the majors with the Oakland Athletics. One away. Steven Moretto at the plate. Also has a couple home runs on the season. Behind in the count 0-1. 0-1. That one misses outside. Count 1-1 to Moretto.
Richardson working fairly quickly here. We saw that strikeout just occur, and already he is just on the mound, set and ready to pitch.
Richardson reaches back for a little extra and misses high. Counts 2-1. The runner at first base, Dawson Tweet. He doesn't matter as much for the Maple Leafs unless Dustin Richardson's able to roll a ground ball here from Steven Moretto. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And it's low and inside. Moretto thought about it, and now he's ahead in the count 3-1. And that one misses up and away. Ball 4. So Tweet advances to second base. Steven Moretto at first. And the tying run is at first base for the Jackfish.
And you know, Richardson on the mound, again, he's one of the players on this team that has that high-level experience. He's been in big situations like that before. Understands, just take a breath. Keep attacking these hitters.
This one's popped foul. Brandon Hupe is the batter for the Welland Jackfish, the center fielder today. Here's the 0-1. And he misses high.
We've seen a couple of misses high and away here to these right-handed batters. He's getting the ball out. It's just the release point's just a little bit too high, and he's releasing a little bit too early.
The 1-1. That one finds the zone. It's 1-2.
And that's a beautiful pitch just to come back right after that high and outside. You just bury a fastball low and inside on the right-handed hitters.
1-2. Richardson would love to get a ground ball out here at a Hupe. And this one's skied in the air on the infield. Jose Vinicio under it. And he makes the catch. And the Welland Jackfish are down to their final out, but they still have opportunity aboard. And Robert Mullen is at the plate.
Mullen 1 for 4 today. He did score a run earlier on in the game. But partner, the big damage that Welland has done today, that man is standing on deck. So if you are DR here, you want to get out of it.
And that pitch misses low. Robert Mullen has tremendous power. He is the go-ahead run for Welland. Here's the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, right on the inside corner. And the count is 1-1.
That's been a beautiful location so far for Richardson, that low inside fastball.
We also have a pinch runner coming in at first base. We'll do our best to bring you that. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. Mullen had to reach to get a piece of that one. Ethan Pasco is the pinch runner at first base. Jackfish down to their final strike. Dustin Richardson trying to lock down the save. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And it's hit in the air, a little flare towards Mara. He runs over and makes the catch. And the Toronto Maple Leafs get the redemption against the Welland Jackfish. They win 6-4. Dustin Richardson locks down the save, and a couple home runs from Toronto Maple Leafs batters as well. Ryan Dos Santos cashes in his first of the season, and so does Justin Mara in what was an all-around pretty good performance for the Maple Leafs today.
Yeah, and it all kind of started with the pitcher performance from Jesse Hodges. He had a solid outing once again, and I mean, the bats, they finally come alive like you mentioned. A big win, a big revenge game for the Maple Leafs.
So that'll do it for us from here at Dominico Field. For myself, Thomas West, as well as Zach Benoit. Thanks so much for